Hey, what's going on everyone? I am the OPJellicent, and I have week number 4 of season number 4 of the WPL. We picked up a very nice win last week, I guess you guys saw that yesterday, against the Fire King 9. So we're looking to keep up this momentum right here against Latios' World. He is 3-0, so a little bit of an uphill match, but I do feel like we can pull it off. Let's get right into the team matchup. We have Scarf Terrakion with Close Combat, Stone Edge, X-Scissor, and the Poison Jab for the Azumarill. X-Scissor does KO the Latios after Stealth Rocks. Unfortunately, we did not get to bring a rocker this week. Our only rocker was Mega Aggron, and I feel it's like if, due to the Magnet Pull Magnet Zone, it's not going to have the best matchup right here. But to deal with Magnet Pull Magnet Zone, which is what I expected, we have our Raikou right here, which is Assault Vest, with Aura Sphere, Thunderbolt, Hidden Power, Ice, and Shadow Ball for the Lati. It will 2-hit KO after Rocks, which, once again, we cannot bring. We could have gotten, like, offensive Stealth Rocks Terrakion, but I felt like that's just going to be bait for the Mammospine. That could be Scarf, and Scarf Mag also deals with that. Aqua Jet Azu, so I just figured I would just go offensive with that. Then we have another Assault Vest on our Tangrowth right here. This can switch into the Azu and the Rotom Wash very nicely. It can take a hit from this. It takes on the Lati very well, assuming it's not Psy Shock and it's Psychic. And it's not even 2-hit KO'd by Psy Shock unless I'm weakened, so that's always nice. Our third Assault Vestmon this week is Torn T, which can U-turn out on stuff, get Regenerator. It has the Hidden Power Ground for the Magnezone, so if I can break Sturdy, which I did confirm, it is Sturdy Magnezone after the match. It was not Magnet Pull, so maybe Aggron would have been a good call. But it can KO it if I can break Sturdy, and then it's really just a U-turn knockoff and Air Slash for coverage. And then just a Rapid Spinning Scald, Haze for, he had a Volcarona, so I just got Haze Toxic for that, but he did not end up bringing the Volcarona. And then Scarf Kyurem with Outrage, Earth Power, Fusion Bolt, and Ice Beam. So the matchup is definitely doable this week, but it's going to be a really tough match. He is 3-0, so let's get right into it. He leads off with the Rotom right here, and I go right onto my Raikou because I don't want to potentially take like a Will-O-Wisp with my Terrakion, and Hydro Pump probably does a lot. I go for the Thunderbolt right here, and here the next Thunderbolt won't kill after Leftovers, so I figured I'll just throw off the Aura Sphere here in case he decides to go Mammo. And I don't want my Raikou getting too weakened, so I just make the safe play here and go right for the T-Bolt. If we went Mammo, that could have been a problem, but it's fine. Here I'll just throw off the Aura Sphere. My Raikou's already weakened. We do a nice amount to that thing. I make an interesting option right here. I go out into my Torn to try to knock this thing out. He goes for the Ice Shard, does a lot. For some reason I expected that to do a little bit less because a few weeks back in the UPC, I must have actually Ice Sharded my Tornadus. I don't think that's on my channel, but and it ended up doing a little bit less. I think it did like 50 to 60, but it's not the end of the world right here. I will be able to knock him out, and I will get some Regenerator health back. So we're up 5-4, which is really nice, but this Azumarill right here is a big problem. Goes through the Belly Drum, and this tells me I just have to sack off my Tangrowth. He goes for the Play Rough. I cannot take that out +6 obviously, but he's forced to Aqua Jet here, and Kyurem only takes about 40% from that, so he's going to go for the Aqua Jet, just 45, that's a high roll actually, but it's not going to end up mattering as you guys are going to see. I go for the Fusion Bolt to knock him out. That crit obviously did not matter, and I am Scarfed, so I cannot stand on this. He's probably going to throw off the Flash Cannon, which he obviously opts to do. He could have predicted gone for the T-Bolt, but I figured it wasn't worth it. The way he switched out, he might be Scarf Mag himself, was what I thought there. Here I go for the knockoff. It's not going to knock off an item, but it's going to do some nice damage to this thing. And I don't really have the best switch in for this thing anyway right now, because my Torn will die to the Psychic plus the Draco Meteor, so I figured I'm just going to get some nice toxic damage off here with my Tentacruel, which will put it into range of my Scarf Terrakion's X-Scissor, so I can bait him to stay in with that, which is exactly what's going to happen. I go right for the X-Scissor right here, knock out the Lati. Mimikyu is going to come out. I have to break this thing's disguise somehow, because I don't have enough attack investment to knock this thing out behind the disguise with Terravolt Fusion Bolt from my Kyurem. I believe Terravolt will go through disguise, but I decided just to break it right here. Go for the Play Rough, and I believe right here I go out into my Kyurem, and this is what the match comes down to right here pretty much, because what ends up happening is it was a 50-50, as you guys are going to see. I went for the Earth Power. Had I Fusion Bolted, I could have gone Torn and probably knocked this thing out and won the game with Kyurem. But had I clicked Fusion Bolt to try to get this thing down, if his Magnezone came out, he would have knocked out my Torn and then won the game with Mimikyu later. So really, it just came down to that 50-50 right there, and I ended up getting it wrong. He's going to be able to go for the player off, and obviously, despite it being a sturdy Magnezone, I would have knocked the thing out, gone Torn, sacked that, and then Terra Volt from Kyurem with Earth Power would have knocked out the Magnezone. So a little bit unfortunate we lost that 50-50, so now, despite our HP ground, even if we crit, it's going to go down to sturdy. If we go for the knockoff, we don't knock him out, but as you guys are going to see, he ends up getting a low roll, so this is actually going to be a 1-0 victory. He could have switched out there to try to preserve, but he didn't know he would have gotten a low roll. I can go for the HP ground, it's my hardest thing, and he's going to be able to go for Thunderbolt and knock me out. So, despite us losing, that was a really great game, 1-0 victory. His Magnezone was at 12%. Obviously, had I gotten that 50-50 right, I would have Fusion Bolted, knocked out Mimikyu, and then I would have sacked Torn and came back in and Earth Powered. So, that probably should have been my play, because he probably didn't expect to get knocked out by Fusion Bolt, or he might have just been inclined to click player off right there, since it would have gotten a kill had I not knocked out Mimikyu. But that's alright, we are 2-2, but we can still make a playoff push. There are 7 weeks left, there's 5 weeks left in the season. So definitely, if you can win out, I think we can probably take one more loss and still make it, so hopefully that's fine. Be sure to check out Latios' URL down in the description. He's a lot bigger than me, and he does a lot of other Pokemon content, so do that. If you enjoyed this, I would definitely subscribe. We have our Week 5 going up on Sunday, and as well as our UPC Conference Final match, so definitely check that out this weekend, and I will see you guys then.